Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our show, The Holistic Alternative. I am Julia Mejia. I am your host today. And this is our second episode, and I am truly honored and excited to have this guest, Don FELIZBERTO. He is the founder, creator, inventor of the CANNAKAN'S. Don, thank you so much for joining us today. It's an honor and a privilege to have you.
Hi, Julie. It's great to be here, and it's fantastic to see you again.
You as well. It's been a while, so we're coming on a year. I know I met you back in November at the Harvest Cup, and we just connected. So thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here and share your story with us, because it is an impactful one.
Thank you so much, and it's great to be here. I appreciate the invite.
Awesome.
And it was absolutely a pleasure meeting you when I think it was in Worcester at the Harvest Cup, and we had just launched, and I was so determined to go and just kind of spread the word about CANNAKAN'S. And I remember walking by your tent and heard that you were patent pending as well, and I said, oh, this is somebody I need to talk to, somebody I have something in common with that knows my pain.
Oh my goodness, I know it's not an easy venture at all to be in a patent pending status. It's like writing a dissertation, and only people that have gone through the process really know the fruits of that labor. So, I'd love to talk with you. Let's start at the beginning. I always like to start with a historical, hey, how did you get into this space? Because your story is very similar to myself and many others that get into the cannabis and hemp industry. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Sure. So, I'm a small town boy with, I grew up in the town of Westport, Massachusetts, which is a right to farm community. Had a lot of friends with older siblings that, kind of opened my way to the into cannabis itself. As basically, back then it was mostly a recreational thing. But as you mature and get a little older and you notice different effects from different varieties or strains, you start digging a little deeper. And how I got into CANNAKAN'S is, we, like I said, right to farm to community. We do a lot of gardening, vegetables, flowers, and we do a lot of germination in the beginning of the season. And so much so that we would have a lot of, people close to us rely on us to germinate their seeds. Through the inconsistencies of traditional, processes, and we've tried them all. I've been gardening since since I was a child. I have early memories of going out to the garden and picking peas and tomatoes and preparing corn for dinner. And it's just something that's in my fiber. And when people, we would do cannabis seeds, and when people are relying on you, and they're not the cheapest seeds to have. One year you would have a great germination success rate, 90 something plus, and then the next year you'd be at 60%, and your process is the same. The environment that you're germinating in is the same, and there's also the task of, all the labels to keep track of, the different containers and whatever else that you would need. So the CANNAKAN'S is also a more sustainable option. And what the CANNAKAN'S is It's a small black canister that keeps the light out, and it allows you to germinate. Well, it's the only product out there that allows you to soak and germinate up to 8 strains in a single canister.
Wow.
All these different partitions have different numbers on them, and you keep track of them on a partition chart, which variety of seeds is in what partition, the number of seeds. And you basically soak your seeds, you fill the reservoir with water. It comes with a filter to protect from taproots growing through and filtering out small particulates, but it allows you to put all your seeds in different partitions. You're able to soak the seeds. After 18, 24 hours, you dump most of the water, put it back on the heat with only a small amount, and it works off of convection. So the bottom of the can is getting, 95 degrees. The ceiling is room temperature is usually mid 70s, low 70s, and it's cooler. So you create a convection, and that's what keeps them from drying out and allows them to be in an ideal germination environment, and it's controlled and consistent. So we get very great success rates and pretty fast, and it's easy. So no more soap jars with labels that you're transferring over to baggies with wet paper towels inside of them. So single-use plastics are not really necessary with the system. Also direct sowing, there are some variables that go along with that, with moisture, temperature, and the moisture levels inside the soil. And this kind of, during the most difficult stage and vulnerable stage for seeds, this allows you to get a jump start, and you're able to just open it up, look at your seeds. You can check out your show pony. So if you see a better growing, more viable looking seed, then that's, if you're somebody that's pheno hunting, then it allows you that advantage to see your seeds before you even get them into the dirt or whatever your grow medium is.
Absolutely incredible. And let's talk even further back for a second. You had some surgery on your neck, I believe. And
I did. Yes. I was pretty much bedridden for nearly 10 months. I had a major neck surgery in Boston. And it was a much needed surgery because I was immobile. I was in so much pain. But along with surgeries comes a lot of medications, and warranted. They were needed medications. And, but I think I came home to Boston. I was, on 12 different medications, Vicodin, Percocets, gabapentin, and, a host of other things. And I knew, just because of, experiences growing up, I've had people close to me that have had addictions to prescription medications. So I'm somebody, and it really close to home. So I'm somebody that would even avoid, taking aspirins if I just had a minor headache or aches and pains. So I was conscious of the fact that I was on a lot of meds. I saw that they were affecting me physically and mentally, especially the gabapentin with the Vicodin. I was almost like a pregnant woman. Smells were bothering me. I was having major mood swings. So I made a conscious effort to start cutting back. And during that process, especially during sleep, I started noticing in my knees and legs, and couldn't sit still, that I actually was experiencing an addiction to these medications. So I put everything I had into it. I have a friend that made some tinctures and a THC CBD mix, and I was able to wean myself off of all the prescription medications, and I haven't taken anything in 10 years.
Amazing. So during that time and that healing period, when did the CANNAKAN come into fruition to your mind during this time period?
So it was in 2022. It was after the pandemic hit, and it was just another season. Like I said, we're always germinating. We're germinating different flowers, and in the CANNAKAN, we'll throw in, butterfly peas, snail vines. Manufacturers will tell you 14 to 21 days. We nick them. I can have them planted under 52 hours with high germination rates. So it was just another season. And a friend of mine, we would put the jars with the soaking seeds, with the labels, put them in a box somewhere warm, take those seeds, transfer the labels without trying to screw them up, and you always do. into baggies. And it would take us nearly an hour to be careful to try to, and you end up breaking tap roots and everything else. And this season, we ended up having a huge failure. Luckily, the company that we got the seeds from, they made good on, they sent new ones, but it just didn't make sense to me. And then we ended up getting seeds from somebody else. So I'm just sitting in front of my computer and I'm like, wow, this is just a little overwhelming. And as a matter of fact, I have it right here. So I said, there's going to be an easier way to organize the seeds. And this is the actual first CANNAKAN. It's a painter's tape container that I just created on a 3D printer divider. And I was like, okay, you got them divided. Now what? So I stepped back and ignored all traditional methods and went directly into studying about, the seed germination process and what it is that they need. And one of the things along with the patent is I have a lot of, I got a lot of trademarks going. I guess I'm at the point now where they consider it a trademark portfolio.
Well, that's great.
And one of them that we have trademarked is WOW, WOW, water, oxygen, and warmth. Those are the 3 needs for seeds.
Let's talk a little bit further about we're global right now. There's a lot of people watching that might not have experience or knowledge about growing cannabis or hemp products. Let's talk a little bit about that and what needs to happen and why you created WOW.
So as far as, if hopefully I'm answering you correctly, is, I created CANNAKAN as a solution for something that I needed because I was sick of letting people down or losing money or, just the time that was involved in the risk of contaminating or damaging seeds. So it wasn't like I was looking to create a product. What I did was I just, I got on my son's 3D printer, I got them divided. Then I said, hey, look at, there's got to be a better way to improve this process. And not thinking about what I was doing, but I just used it. And I went down and, 2 days later after I drained the water, and it was the best results I've ever seen in my life. They were well over, all of them were between a ½ inch and an inch long. And it was the highest germination rate I've had. And it was so easy. And it was right then and there that I just thought, listen, I'm not the only one that struggles with this. It's almost an untouched market. It's almost like people just accept the traditional methods and just moved along. And that's why, immediately, as soon as I started, I was, when you live life at you always feel like you're at 75%, you're melting for something bigger. It was when CANNAKAN, I opened that for the first time. I was like, this is it. This is what I was meant to do. And I immediately went to and found patent attorneys and did the searches globally. There was nothing else like it. And that's what started the whole journey. Just got a couple people that believed in me and just went all in.
That's incredible. And, so many people that are patent pending or create products, they do it because there's a need for it.
Correct.
We're trying to, problem solve societal issues. So this is a huge invention in the space.
And it's beyond, the goal is, to help the community growers have a better experience germinating, saving money. But the thing is too, in that I take a lot of pride in no more single-use plastic. And on a global level, that's huge. And it might be that you're only using maybe 12 bags a year, but it's still 12 bags a year times every grower that's using that method. It's dishwasher safe. It's a one-time purchase, which some people kind of frowned upon. We're like, hey, don't you want to get those return sales? And it's like, it's an untouched market. If I can make a great positive experience for one person, they're going to tell 5 people. I'm not, you know what I mean? It's all about creating a great product that's out there, making something available. That's, sorry, what's that?
Sorry for cutting you, but I was just going to say that, even the one-time sale can lead to multiple sales because larger grows are going to need multiple sets. So
absolutely. And we have a larger trade version coming out. And one thing I'll take pride in right now is that since we've been on the market, I haven't had one return, and that's pretty huge. We've sold quite a few. I mean, we sold out the beginning of this year because of, we had the opportunity where we were showcased on quite a few large influencers in the cannabis realm. That High Again, Homegrow TV, Untrained Astronaut. We were featured on Sebastian's Grow on the Go on Fast Buds 420. I mean, I've been very fortunate, and the growth has far exceeded my wildest dreams, and it says a lot about the community. I've spoke about marketing, and I've spent, in the last year about $35 in marketing, and the name and the product is getting everywhere, and it's because of the cannabis community. If you're good to the community and you offer something that is beneficial, man, they embrace you and blow you up. We went from, if I made a sale a week we launched last August, so it's almost been a full year. If I made a sale a week, I was, yes, even if it was a set of the Huggard seed tweezers,
Yep.
I was excited. And we went on High Again, and Heaven and Neil just blew it up, and we made over 300 sales in 2 days. So it was pretty amazing. And then it just continued to where we end up making, I didn't miss a day of sales. So it's amazing. And the thing is like, it doesn't hurt to just ask, because I reached out to them and just said, hey, look, I built this thing all by myself. I'm just trying to get it out there. And I sent them a paragraph. It was probably 2 paragraphs. IG was like, this is too long. You got to break it up.
Yep.
And just trying to sell myself to him because I thought I needed to. And he just wrote back, nah, fam, we got you. We'll try it. Yeah. And I thought that they would notify me that they were going to try it, but they didn't. I saw that they were trying a new germination process on a live. And, they did a follow-up with Homegrow TV, and it was CANNAKAN'S Super Bowl. As soon as they opened the cover and the results, it was just, because Julie, when you risk everything on something that your passion, that you believe in, when it comes crunch time and you get it out there, and you don't know, it could go one of 2 ways. It could go really bad, or it could go really well. Fortunately, I made the right decision of going all in and chasing this CANNAKAN dream, because like I said, I have people sending me messages saying thank you for everything you do to the community. And it's strange because it makes me feel like a fraud, because I'm almost like, hey, community, thank you.
No, I think it's great. And you know what? You're helping people in a big way that wasn't there before. So you should take every ounce of gratitude. You get what you put out in this world, right? So
true.
All the love back that you've been putting out, you put the love, the time, the energy, the money into this project. You bet on yourself, and that's a huge thing, and people respect that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. You know how it is. You're living the same dream, so.
I love it. Every day I get up is a beautiful day, and it's an opportunity to help someone. And, I love what I do,
It's funny because I just celebrated. Well, I didn't even celebrate it because I've been so busy, but I just hit my 50-year mark, and it's like, I feel like I found my tribe, which is crazy. Like, because with the stigma, you could never really be your true self, and now we have that ability to, no, this is really me. And guess what? A pot smoker can get shit done too. We can be productive. And I learned how to create apps. I developed my own website. I make all the shirts. From this, it's been a one-man show, and I'm all the way from 3D concept to a brand seller on Amazon.
Amazing.
Because it's like I said, I'm firing on all cylinders for the first time in my life, and I really feel like all those struggles in life that we all have, and those hard lessons that we've learned, those skin knees, it was since I've been doing the CANNAKAN hustle, it's like everything that I've needed to be available, it's like all the stars have aligned. And if you're willing to put in the hard work and recognize what's going on, and I think that anybody, as long as you believe in yourself and you're willing to do the grind, anything's possible for sure.
Absolutely. And you know what? It's an honor and a privilege to talk with you. And I totally understand the struggle and the sacrifice. No one understands unless they own their own business and they're doing most of it themselves, how much goes into that. I work 80-hour plus weeks, so
Yeah.
you get it. So
Yeah.
let's talk a little bit about some of those challenges, though. It hasn't always been easy, right? Let's talk a little bit about some of the hiccups that we face, right? Let's talk about
yeah, they're there for sure. The rose-colored glasses. Like I said, you go through it. And I was really successful with the development of it, and it's not until you get it out there, where you understand the community better, you get your product out there, and you see. My thing is, I want to offer the best solution I can for the everyday guy, the guy or woman that's just like me. Where I create a product that is affordable enough. Like I've lost more money in bad germination than my bundle cost that will last you a lifetime and guarantee you the success. So one thing that one of my major hiccups is, because we've been improving all along. Like I know, I thought that the bundle bags that we have, which are these right here, that the first run of them, they were a little thin. So we went with a thicker pad. The partition chart, I went from a 3mm laminate for a 5mm laminate. Because I didn't want to sell my soul and take on a million investors. So what I'm doing is self-funding this. So as soon as it comes in, it goes back in. And we got a shipment of heat pads, and right off the bat, there was a noticeable difference. The material is a little thinner. They have a second batch that's still overseas that I noticed in the pictures. Hey, we're done with your product. I'm like, wait a second, where's the waterproof certificate, certification that's on it? It's not there. And these heat pads were inconsistent. They were starting to show hot spots. Unfortunately, a couple got out there, but I resolved the issues as soon as they came to play. Yep. There was only a handful of them. That was enough. And, you have to understand this, that in January, the end of January, went from making one sale a week to, in April, we were doing dozens of sales per day. And once I discovered the issue with the heat pads, I had to make a really tough decision. And we sold out of all our prepared bundles on 4/20.
Yeah.
And then I just decided I'm not going to fulfill the new bundles with these new products because I can't take a risk. You're only as good as your reputation. And my goal is to have the best reputation I can possible. The new heat pads that we have are a better technology. They don't have wire tape. I have one over here, but I actually opened it up to see what it's like. And it's a sheet now, and it's all with conductive zinc paste. It has internal thermometer, internal heat sensor. It's got safety features, memory features, and it has a controller now, which is, ideal.
So that's incredible. So, you had a hiccup that essentially put you in a better place, even though you had to pause everything for a little bit. You came out even stronger on the other end.
Yeah, it's funny because I was living the dream, like the best life. Like I was like, this is what documentaries are made for. And then to say, hey, look, I'm gonna knowingly and willingly pull the plug on this right now, and my sales dropped 90% immediately. Yeah. But like you said, now what happens is I have the best product. If your seeds don't germinate in the new system and process, it's your seeds. Exactly. The new heat pads are so extremely accurate that we eliminated our cloth mat that's not needed anymore because these things are so spot on. Because when you're hustling and you're learning about patents, you're learning about trademarks, you're learning about this different approach to marketing, you're learning, and you're doing everything yourself. You're the assembly line. You're the guy that's a quality checker. You're the guy sending out the packages. You're answering all the emails. It's a lot. But this break allowed me to sit back and say, listen, I was so busy that my business was almost not catching up either. So now I've actually got somebody that's got a master's in business administration that's helping me now put the business. So a blessing in disguise, as terrible as it is. So now we have a well-oiled machine in the background. I have amazing product. And this is where I am with the heat pads now, is where I always wanted to be. In the beginning, it was all budget limited. And I was doing the best I can to find the best product to put out there. But I'm just a guy that in the process of learning how to bring a product to manufacture and learning how to trademark and patent something. And now I'm trying to, find a manufacturing company to build these heat pads. And then, when you see that hiccup, it allows you to learn. Like, now you know what your standards are. You know what you're looking for as far as features go. So now I have the ultimate product with the most amazing features and, something I stand behind with every bit of myself. And the thing is the new heat pads are 3 times as much as the original heat pads.
Yeah.
And I'm actually working with somebody right now, and it's going to be really big news that we're looking to go international, and I'm looking to partner up with a really large international company. But I even said to him, even with this price increase of the heat pads with traditional retail, markups, it would put the bundle at $106. And I refuse to be another $100 plus cannabis product out there. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna, obviously there's an upgrade to the product itself with the controller, which has value. And, I don't plan on pricing it much more than $69. I would rather take that profit loss, which actually removes potential within the business to do wholesaling and stuff, because now that profit margin isn't there. But I would rather eat that issue myself than pass off that budget increase, that cost increase to the community. This is still from the same beginning goal, making an affordable product for the everyday grower that will last them a lifetime. And I know that in time that I will make up that profit once the manufacturing goes up and I can making more pieces. I'm just not, people say, oh, Tupperware makes all this, it's a piece of Tupperware. Well, they're also, sending out 500 million sets, you know what I mean? And I don't have that ability. I don't have that buying power. So what I do is I make sure that I'm offering a product that I would want at the price that I would want. Simple.
And that's how it should be. I feel the same way. For me, you're dealing with sick people. I was once a med patient that couldn't afford a $100 tincture.
Absolutely.
We kept everything super affordable, and I respect you so much for taking that hit so that the community can benefit from your invention.
Well, I think, and it's not to sound overly confident, but if I look at how we're doing and forecast that out, I'm gonna sell these anyway. Do I need to be some big greedy pie eater? I want, sometimes it's nice just to do the right thing in business too. And, and I had a website marketing company, and, I've worked with large companies, help them increase, and I've been stepped on the big man before. They don't care. You could be their best friend until you're not needed anymore. And I told myself that my goals with CANNAKAN is it will always be fun, and it'll always be for the right reasons. And the minute I'm able to give back, and I do as much as I can right now, I will, to this community, because we're all in this change together. So we need to support each other, and if you do things for the right reasons and you remain transparent and, you stay true to yourself, then it's just all going to come back to you. So why not just do the right thing? It makes life easier if you're just always doing the right thing and being honest.
I totally agree. I mean, we all have to sleep at night and look at ourselves in the mirror. So at the end of the day, this is the universe's gift to man. And when you disrespect that, that's a whole other thing. So it's really about having that connection with the plant, respecting the industry, respecting the plant, and giving back. Because again, this is a giving and a healing plant. So,
absolutely. And we're in an amazing time right now. We are in the moment. You know what I mean? It's almost like if you were to look at Google Maps and you zoom so far out and look at the world as a whole, we are in that moment right now. We're all gonna, what decisions you make now is going to determine what part you or role you play in this change that we're having. But we are all in it, and we should all be in it together for the right reasons, to see everybody succeed, to see everybody get that medication that they need. You know, not only did it get me off of prescription meds, my whole life I've struggled with sleeping. Like, I was a little boy that would sit by the night light putting Legos together, and I still struggle with sleeping. But since October of 2022, I finally found my mix of, you know, CBD and THC nightly dose of, you know, I take these gummies, and I'll tell you what, it's changed my life. You know, I would bring my son to school, and by the time I fall asleep, I have to wake up in an hour, and by when Friday, Saturday comes, I'm only like 6-8 hours sleep in for the whole week, and it was tough. And
very tough.
Finding, you know, a solution to the sleep has absolutely changed my life, because I'm rested. I can be focused. I'm not always strung out and exhausted, and it's amazing. So it's beyond the recreational. There's so many, you know, and where it could go in the future too, with plastics and fabrics. And
let's talk about that. What other uses can this product help with? What other industries? Because you and I have talked a little bit about this. I'd love for, you know, the people.
Well, one of my things is like I said, one of our main focuses is these plastics, especially single-use plastic. This is, if you want fancy packaging, don't buy a CANNAKAN. This is it. And it's got the thinnest white box in there that it's sitting in, because not only like the process of like handling seeds better, you know, the germination process, you know, better, going through that process. It was also the process of receiving a product. If I order a product, it comes in this beautiful, fancy plastic, shiny thing with the best artwork in it. I get in there with scissors or a can opener or a razor knife. I rip it open and I throw it in the trash. And a lot of that stuff is difficult to recycle. So what do I would, for one, I would love to see plastics. We don't need traditional plastics anymore. I would love to see the day that I can make, you know, this is a recycled polypropylene, cold storage, dishwasher safe, recyclable product. But wouldn't it be great if it was made from a sustainable product 100%? And I think the best day that we will see is when prescription medications come in a hemp plastic bottle. Because I see it. How many people are on medications and they get these single-use prescription, they don't even make an effort to recycle them for the most part. And, you know, just when and that was something I noticed when I had my surgery. I had so many these prescription pill bottles.
Right.
Wouldn't it be great if they were made from hemp?
Right. In our industry in general, we're very wasteful, right? That's why I try to package my stuff in glass. But, you know, that's always the goal, is trying to eventually get into the hemp plastics. And yeah,
absolutely.
You know, so.
And we'll get there. You know what I mean? There just has to be enough demand for it, you know, but people, you know, us as business owners, we have to be willing to eat that expense a little bit, because that's how it's going to happen. It's just like solar. You know, 10, 15 years ago, if you had solar on your house, people were like, wow, he's rich, you know, where now, because the demand's so high, there's different ways to acquire solar, whether, you know, you buy them outright, you rental, or you get paid back, you know. So as business owners, if we want to see that change, and I'm starting to see packaging companies out there, you know, pushing for the hemp, but us packaging, we have to want to make that change. We have to say, you know what, I would rather pay. Because when you're packaging overseas, what is it going to be? A 3 cents to 6 or 8 cents difference? Just do it.
Absolutely.
Lose that nickel. Big deal.
No, and definitely. And we've talked a little bit, you and I, about, you know, behind scenes about your product and helping other industries. Let's talk a little bit about that, since we're getting down to the last couple of minutes here. But
it goes fast, huh?
Yeah, I know. Hey, time flies when you're having fun. At the end of the day, how can this impact the medical community as well, in the bio community?
So the thing is so because like I said, I didn't want to sell my soul to a bunch of investors. So I knew that this system right here was my ticket to be able to self-sustain and just to keep the business self-floating. So what I'm doing is I'm, and it's not like I'm chasing it and I'm pushing it in the market. What I'm doing is I see where it shows its most value, where it has the fastest potential growth in it. But I also have a tray version that's coming out that has the same exact features, but it goes a little bit further. It goes all the way from seed storage on 16 different varieties all the way to early plant growth. Wow. And what that will be is it'll be better for larger facilities. So you have hemp farmers, which I've already showed interest in the tray, and for larger grow facilities and it'll be able to run it in series. So you can connect one to the other. It's going to be automated off of a vat. It'll self-soak the temperature, drain the water, and go into germination mode itself. Once it's early, it's in early plant growth and you have clones or seedlings, it'll self-water from bottom up. It's going to be automated. And it's also, we have interest with labs using the tray version for single cell cultures. The thing is one of the things I wanted to do is make sure that this was cold storage safe, recyclable, and lab ready. So it uses lab filter papers inside, and it's also, you could just toss it, like I said, right in the dishwasher, and it comes out sterile. And I don't know too many other products out there that allow you to germinate multiple varieties of seeds very easily that also 100% sterilized.
That's amazing. And I'm just so excited. I'm going to spread the word on your product. We're going to get this video out there to a lot of people. And let's talk a little bit about how people can contact you.
Well, if you Google CANNAKAN, we do pretty well as far as SEO, but we're mostly active on Instagram, and the handle is the CANNAKAN. We're the CANNAKAN or CANNAKAN on Facebook and on TikTok, which we're trying to start to get a little bit more familiar with, and also CANNAKAN on YouTube.
Give everyone your website again for me.
And the website is easy too. It's www.cannakan.com.
Awesome. Don, thank you so much. We have a few minutes left, but it's just been such an honor and a privilege. I commend you for the beautiful work you do in the community.
Thank you so much.
You just have such a great presence and a good light to you. And at the end of the day, if you treat the plant well, the plant will take care of you, as it always has.
I believe that very much so.
Yep. And
I'd like to thank you too, because since we've met, you've been nothing but supportive. So I really appreciate that.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about. It should be anyway. And,
right.
As industry leaders, I'm sure you've dealt with, there's been a lot of snakes in this industry. It's a newer industry, but
yeah, that's the only negative thing I could say so far about this journey is, unfortunately, there's a couple bad apples in the community too. But, like I say, rotten things stink enough that people usually smell them out. So exactly.
At the end of the day, the universe takes care of it and it clears your path. And if you're doing the right things for the right reasons, it's crucial that you stay focused on that and don't get caught up in the noise, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it was tough in the beginning because, you put your heart and soul into something and you take offense and you're just like, I got a hater. I check.
Hey, at the end of the day, if people are hating you, then you're doing it the right way.
That's exactly.
There's always going to be someone that's jealous or, feels some kind of way about something. But at the end of the day, just keep being you, do the right things, put your love out there like you have been, and you're going to continue to be rewarded. So
awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Julie.
Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day, your schedule. This is Don from CANNAKAN, and we are so excited to have him as a guest. And please check out his product one more time on your website.
It's CANNAKAN.com.
Thank you so much, Don. I so appreciate you being here today.
Thank you too, Julie. Until we see each other the next time, and I know that's going to be soon. So take care.
Absolutely, my friend. Take care. Okay. Thank you guys for joining us today. It was a beautiful segment. We will see you in August for episode 3. Thank you.